I'm Eric Stark here with Inside the LL League's insider, Ed Gruver. Ed, Calico's still alive.
Yeah.
You know, we knew it was going to be a tough game against Daniel Boone. They pull off a great. It's a home game, so I mean, I guess they were the favorite team. But the game, the way it went, were you surprised at all the way Calico won this game and by the score and the outcome? Or
I'm not really surprised because they had beaten them in the opener.
Yeah.
By a decent margin, and both teams came in nicked up.
Yeah.
Both were missing some key personnel, but Cocalico's next man up mindset, basically kind of carried the day. That and their defense. Their defense played an exceptional game, and their offensive line did a great job. They had a 10-minute drive in the third quarter and got points at the end of it. And as Dave Gingrich said afterward, that was a key drive in the game.
Those are the keys to beating Daniel Boone. Now they get Bishop McDevitt in the district finals. This is a round of the playoffs as well. What's the key to beating McDevitt? I'm smirking because I'm thinking it's got to be ball control at the end of your time clock.
It'll be the same thing that they had against Daniel Boone, only more so. Their best defense is going to be their offense. They've got to control the ball, control the clock, have these long extended drives like they had against Boone last week. But that's not going to be enough. They have to get points at the end of these drives. To just have a long drive against McDevitt is not going to be enough because they can score on any play, as they showed against Mannheim 2 weeks ago. Mannheim had a perfect game plan, led 3-0, late in the second quarter. 2 plays for McDevitt, and it's 14-3 at the break.
Yeah.
Then another play early in the third, and it's 21-3, and now the game gets away from you.
It's very deflating for you at that point. Does Cocalico, I think they passed the ball one time last week.
Yeah.
Do they have the offensive weapons to stay with McDevitt?
Well, the ace up Dave Gingrich's sleeve throughout these playoffs has been the veer. Not many teams face it. So, week in and week out, these teams facing Cocalico for the first time have to adjust to the veer, and it's not an easy thing to do. Cocalico runs it as well as anybody in the state. And McDevitt, when they played Cocalico in the 2010 final, which is the last time they met, it was only a 29-14 game. And of all the teams, LL teams through the years that have played McDevitt, that's the closest anybody has come from the LL to beating them, since they've gone to AAA.
Okay, but these Cocalico players were probably, 8th grade?
Right.
So they maybe were at the game, but they didn't get to play them in 2010.
Right.
So this Cocalico team, is it as good as 2010? Is this McDevitt team comparable to 2010?
No, I asked Dave Gingrich that yesterday. He said this McDevitt team is better than that 2010 team. But, again, it's not so much the people, it's just the scheme. McDevitt seemed to have some problems in 2010, trying to defend the veer. And, again, that's Cocalico's best shot this week is, hoping McDevitt has some problems because they haven't seen it since then.
We have one more LL League team to talk about. Wilson barely gets by last week. 9-6 to CD East. They get Central Dauphin now. What do you like in that matchup?
I think it's going to be a real good matchup. I talked with Doug Doms, the Wilson coach, last night, and he was it's kind of like Groundhog Day for him. The past 3 weeks, every week they're playing a team that they've already played and beaten. Township in week 1, CD East last week, Central Dauphin again this week. Now, they only beat Central Dauphin 14-12 in week 3.
Good game.
And Doug said they're much improved, as Wilson is. So, Wilson's just doing enough to get by. But that's, at the end of the day, as long as you get the W, that's all that matters.